I know.
Bring the council meeting to order. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, first we'll start with personal appeals. If anyone in the audience has a personal appeal, we'll start with the people that are in Borough Council chambers first. Come up to the podium, state your name and address, and write it down, and you have 5 minutes for your appeal.
Oh, boy.
All right. I would have deferred, but I'm the only one here. Date's the 16th. Craig Neely, 209 Main Street, Emmaus. A couple of you may figure that when Craig Neely comes to the podium, it has to do something with the compost site, because people used to laugh at me, like in council chambers all the time, because when it came to the compost site, everyone would look at me because I had such an affinity for the compost site. And I still do. Sorry, I'm just putting my stuff down here. And I read about the change to no yard waste bag pickup. And I really think that's a terrible decision. And I'll start out just by giving you a little bit, for those of you who might not know, some of the history of the compost site. The compost site was acquired back in the 80s along with Canals Homestead, everything else down there on the east side of Klein's Lane. It was called the Marks Estate, and the borough exercised its eminent domain powers to acquire the Marks Estate. And it's obviously served many different purposes. And back when it acquired it, I bought my first house in the borough in November of 1988 at 1054 Pennsylvania Avenue. I had to do a lot of work outside, and I had heard somewhere that the borough had this compost something. And back then it was called the Upper Dump. I don't know how many people remember the Upper Dump. It's up where the soccer field is. And I went over there with a plastic garbage bag and put like 2/3 composted material. It's all like mostly leaves and stuff that hadn't been composted yet. But I still thought it was a great thing. Borough's making material available for people in the borough. Then, of course, the borough started the compost site. And I then moved to 701 Pine Street, Emmaus. After that, I bought properties downtown, property at 209 Main Street. The compost site and its availability to the residents of Emmaus, and I should just say property owners of Emmaus, in my opinion, has been one of the biggest factors for encouraging the biggest asset that the borough of Emmaus has when it comes to its perception from the outside and its ability of its residents to have a really comfortable and enjoyable quality of life. I used to say this when I was on council and when I was borough manager. Emmaus has the best residential living quality of life of any municipality in the Lehigh Valley. That was true back then. It's true today. Maybe a couple municipalities can kind of maybe claim that I'm wrong about that, but I really even objectively think that we do when you have the combination of the amount of area that we have, the variety of housing that we have, the business concentrations that we have. It truly is a great quality of life that's offered in Emmaus. Part of it is its pedestrian safety and its ability of pedestrians to access every single part of this borough from every other part of the borough. Believe me, back in the old sidewalk days, I heard the word John Hart come up. That reminded me. I walked every single street of this borough, and I categoried every street in terms of sidewalk, no sidewalk, repairable sidewalk, you name it, every street. And I guarantee you, I've lived here for 60 years, I guarantee you that nobody in the history of this town has ridden bicycle, skateboard, walked farther than I have within these borough limits. And I see every property, and I've seen it, and I guarantee you that when people come into this town, when they look at Emmaus, if they think about moving here, they visit their friends, they visit their families, it's a quality of life and a sense that people get. And I'll give you a little bit of a story. Back when the first time that we were awarded like top 100 places to live, I had a reporter from Philadelphia Magazine come up. And she came to my office at 245 Main Street, a real nice young lady, beautiful day in the spring. And we introduced ourselves to each other. And she said, well, Craig, what should I do to get an idea what the borough's like? I said, walk out of my office, walk down to 2nd Street, make a left, walk 4, 5, 6 blocks down, just wander through the neighborhoods. So she did. And she came back and she was astounded. She said, how do you do this? Like, how is the residential neighborhood so nice? Do you know what my answer was? It's the compost site. And I am not lying to you, because at least this is my opinion. The availability of the compost site and an ease of use of the compost site is what makes Emmaus's residential quality of life as high as it is. Because people can conveniently improve their properties, dispose of their waste. Think about the person who has, and I think we've all probably seen it, the forsythia bush in the back corner of their property that's like, it's got to be like 10 feet in diameter, one bush. You know what? With a compost site, bam, you nip the pieces off, you stuff it in a bag, it's gone. And they have, within really 45 minutes, gotten rid of a complete eyesore and opened up an area of the yard that they never thought would have been opened up as much. Now, that's just one example. But, over the years, I've heard so many ideas of what Emmaus should be. Okay? Emmaus should be like Manayunk, or Emmaus should be like New Hope, or Emmaus should be like Jim Thorpe. Let's build a parking garage so we have visitors coming in, become a tourist destination. I'm telling you, after 60 years, there's one thing that Emmaus offers, it will always offer, and it's what Emmaus is. It offers an incredible quality of residential life. And I believe that Borough Council's responsibility to the property owners of this town is to do whatever it can do to encourage people to work on their own properties, to improve their properties, to make their own neighborhoods better, to make our community better. And all Borough Council is doing by making that convenient for people is putting the power in the people to make Emmaus as great as it can be through a minimal investment of money by Borough Council. I understand. With the yard waste bags, maybe it does take 2 guys 2 days to do it. I can't argue with that. But you know what? I honestly don't care how much that costs. Over the last 10, 12 years, what I've seen from this Borough Council is literally millions and millions and millions of dollars invested in buildings, building additions, equipment, technology. Do you know what all that stuff does? It improves the quality of government life. You can point to the specific things of, now things are more efficient. We, government, can do things easier than we.
Can we just get somebody to extend his 5 minutes? I just want to follow the procedures.
Sure.
I'll make a motion.
Motion second. Okay, 5 more minutes, go ahead.
Okay.
Who
And
was
so
second?
what all those investments,
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
what all those investments do is they do make government life easier. It does make government more efficient to an extent. But when you look at the willingness of Borough Council to invest millions to make government life easier, now it turns around to the property owners and says, you know what? We can't afford to have 2 public works employees pick up yard waste bags so that you, property owners, can conveniently care for your properties. Not only does that ignore the importance of serving the public where they want to do the work, what it's going to do, at least in my opinion, you're going to see people who otherwise, you know what? They want to get outside. They want to be outside of their houses doing things, to stay active, to stay physically active, to stay mentally active, to get them used to being outside, to get them used to, instead of walking outside just to say, trim a bush, to call their neighbor and walk outside and walk downtown, walk to Yergis, walk to Let's Go Coffee, walk to the things that I'm sure Borough Council is proud about as having moved into this borough and seeing more cars parked in the downtown than I frankly have ever seen it. And Borough Council can walk out and say, wow, we're proud of that. Look what's happening with the mass. But you know what? All that is doing is you're ignoring the individual property owners. You're taking away a critical service that a lot of people rely upon. And I think that that is so short-sighted, especially when we look at the willingness for Borough Council to spend to improve government life, but at the same time refuse to spend a little bit of money to encourage people to take care of their own properties, the biggest investment that most people have in their entire lives. And so the last thing I'm going to say is in the whole grand scheme of things, I think that is like everybody's dealing with all the UGI issues, dealing with not knowing who's responsible for the roads, but dealing with it for years. And at the end of that going, bam, it's a slap in the face just to say, you know what? Government and its arms are doing all of this stuff. And you know what? We're not even willing to pay two guys to go out and make it easier for you to, number one, be healthy, number two, to maximize property values, buy their own work, and just saying we really don't care anymore because we're not willing to make that what I consider is a minimal investment. And if you look at the numbers, and I guess if I wanted to, I could start putting all kinds of open records requests for the last 10 years to see how much money has been spent on these items that I talk about that have been used to improve government life. And then I can come to the podium and say, here are the millions you spent to improve government life, and here's what you refuse to spend to maintain the quality of life for residents. And I think that's an important thing here. You're talking about maintaining a quality of life, and you're taking it away. That's my personal appeal for tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. There's no one else is in the live audience. Any personal appeals online?
Hello, this is Ann Zayatz. If you can unmute the video, it's okay, Shane. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you. I'm actually here to speak about the same issue that Craig just spoke to. I am a longtime resident of this borough. I am single. I am over 65. I do not have a truck. And I have relied on the borough picking up yard waste for the past several years, many years, because I really can't do it any other way. My neighborhood has a number of individuals who are retired and who, again, don't have the capacity to transport yard waste from their home to the compost site. I was wondering if, I have so many questions in my head. First of all, did you get any user input on a solution? I understand there's a problem, but have you asked any of the users what would work? Does it have to be every week? Could it be every other week? I bet people would say yes rather than only twice a year. I do not understand the pickup schedule that you have for twice a year. So April 20th is coming in a month. Do I start putting my yard waste out now at the curb and watch it wash down the street to the sewer opening at the end of the street, or blow away when we have high winds like we've had this week? I mean, is that the intention? Are you assuming, other than that, that I have that particular weekend free before April 20th, and that everything in my life needs to stop so that I can crazily get all of my cleanup done, my spring cleanup done, so I can put it out then at the curb? I just don't understand where you're coming from in terms of allowing and empowering people to take care of their own properties. It is something that we are proud of. It is something that we can do. And yet you're tying our hands in a way that's going to make it really impossible. It is the one service I feel that as a taxpayer, nobody else gets to share. Part of my taxes go for the pool. There are outside people that go to the pool. Part of my taxes have gone for road repair. There are plenty of people that drive on our roads in Emmaus. But the compost and the yard waste pickup is the one thing that actually is a benefit to the taxpayers specifically of the borough. I really wish that you could reconsider this. I realize you published it in the borough newsletter that I received today. I was a bit taken aback, frankly, that there wasn't any other communication about it. I was kind of like, by the way, here's what's going to happen, and you have no say in it. I really am imploring you to reconsider this, come up with another solution, ask some of the 500 households that are the users what other possibilities would work for them. And that's what I have to say. I really wish you would reconsider, because people will not take care of their properties the way they do now, because it's just one more hurdle. Thank you.
Thank you.
I guess
Are
I
there
do one more thing. Are you going to reply to either Craig or myself at some point?
So just so you're aware, ma'am, this is public comment. The Borough Council can choose to respond, or they can simply allow the statements to stand.
We hit all of them.
Are there any other public comments?
We hit asked to unmute, he didn't, so would be all.
No? Good? All right, next we have community minute. Does anybody on council have a community minute? Councilman Anders.
Sure. Actually, two things. First, yesterday I had the ability to be at the Main Street and the Historical Society bingo, which was at St. John's Church. It was a sold-out event. It was a great fundraiser for them. I was able to call the bingo numbers for them and volunteer. And like I said, it was a great event for them and fundraiser. They have that each year. Actually, it's mentioned in the newsletter I saw there as well. And then I wanted to bring up the upcoming 250 celebration, which is going to be in July. We have 3 fun-filled days of events scheduled for our downtown area, Emmaus Community Park, and also we'll have events at the high school stadium with a drone show, laser light show. There's going to be a petting zoo on a day that I know one of our local solicitors, I believe, helping with there. And like I said, it's going to be a lot of great events. The Historical Society is going to have part of the road. with
Yeah.
demonstrations.
Better solution.
Our historical homes will be open and have all types of period events and demonstrations there as well. So more to come. We do need some volunteers. If anybody wants to come out, volunteer. We do have monthly meetings that you can come in and learn more about it. And we're also looking for sponsors. So Shane, I'm correct. July 24th, 5th, 25th, and 26th.
Yes.
With that, I'll report progress.
Any other community minutes? Okay, we have no other community minutes. We have no special presentations. Next is the reading of the council meeting minutes. Does anybody have a motion for the March 2nd, 2026 council meeting minutes? Motion by Councilman Lavenberg, and is there a second?
Second.
Councilwoman Brem. Any comments or questions or additions or corrections? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, say no. Passes 7-0. Next, we have decisions on bid. We have the seal coating bid. In there, we received one bid back from AMS. We only expected to actually receive one bid. It's what normally happens here. And the recommendation at this point is to accept the overall bid from AMS. Does anyone have a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Councilman Lavenberg. Is there a second? Councilman Balliet. Any comments or questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed say no. Passes 7-0. Next, we have the paving machine financing. So there's two quotes in here, one from Journey Bank and one from tax exempt leasing. This is another one of those situations where the interest rates are slightly deceiving because the Journey Bank interest rate is 5.03% and the tax exempt leasing is 4.95, and common sense would tell you that's the less payments, but it's not because of the factors they use on leasing. So at this point, the recommendation is to go with Journey Bank for 3 years with the monthly payment plan. We talked about that at the budget meetings this past year, doing monthly payments rather than yearly or half-year payments, but with a maximum of $35,490.12, which is the number that's in their bid. It should come down because we're doing monthly payments. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Councilman Lavenberg. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Watt. Any comments or questions?
Just that the same 3-year loan is $1,000 more from the other company.
Any other comments or questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, no. So it passes 7-0. We have some communications, one from Jackie Purcell for the Emmaus Arts Commission volunteer application. We'll refer that to CRD. And then we have Dylan Coleman, letter of concern regarding data center development. We'll refer that to Health, Sanitation, and Codes. Does anybody else have any communications that aren't in our packet? All right. We have no borough's engineer report. Solicitor.
All of my items are elsewhere on the agenda. Progress.
Thank you. We have no unfinished business, part 1. We have no new business. There's no unfinished business, part 2. Does anyone have an item not on the agenda subject to Rule 9? Seeing none, Madam Mayor, report.
Thank you. I have nothing to report this evening. Progress.
Thank you. Next, we have Public Works Committee report. Chairman Balliet.
Thank you, Mr. President. We met on March 9th and had a meeting. All of our notes are attached. Our next meeting will be April 13th at 4:45, and with that, I'll report progress.
Thank you. Next, we have Health, Sanitation, and Codes Committee report. Chairman Brown.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Nothing for official action for tonight. Our next meeting's tomorrow, St. Patrick's Day, March 17th, here in Borough Hall. Progress.
Thank you. Next, we have Parks and Recreation Committee report. Chairman Anders.
Nothing for official action. Excuse me. This evening, our next meeting is this Thursday, March 19th at 4:45. With that, I'll report progress.
Next, we have the Public Safety Committee report. Chairwoman Watt.
Thank you. So for our consideration tonight, we have an intermunicipal mutual aid agreement that our Deputy Chief Hampshire was proactively pursuing with Salisbury Township to prepare for the upcoming disaster, possibilities. And the Public Safety Committee referred it to council with the hope that the solicitor would review it.
And I have indeed reviewed it. The only items I noted in here would be that as long as the insurance coverages that we have listed in this agreement, as long as they match with what they do, I did not know that answer off the top of my head, Shane.
Yeah, they're good.
They're good. And the only other item of note here is that we are agreeing during certain periods of time that we would allow their municipal officers, if they are traversing through our municipality, to enforce our laws. They would then call a local police officer to come out there. But that is something that is somewhat unique, and I just want council to be aware of that potential issue.
So the committee did recommend it. So I will place that in the form of a motion.
Motion by Councilwoman Watt. Is there a second? Second by Councilman Labenberg. Any comments or questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed say no. Passes 7-0.
Our next meeting is Wednesday, April 8th at 9 a.m. Progress.
Thank you. Next, we have General Administration Committee report. Councilman Labenberg.
Nothing to take action on. We have a meeting this Wednesday at 9 a.m. via Zoom. Progress.
Thank you. Next, we have Budget and Finance Committee report. That's my committee. We have one item for action, the bill list, Resolution 2026-12, resolved by Borough Council to authorize the payment of the March 16, 2026 bill list as follows. The bill list, $1,186,759.24. Payroll number 5, $212,114.17. Payroll taxes, $69,114.23, for a total of $1,467,987.64 done this 16th of March, 2026. Would anyone like to make a motion? Motion by Councilman Labenberg. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Watt. Any comments or questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed say no. Passes 7-0. You can see the different revenue and expenses for the first half of March, and also the meeting notes from the March 4th meeting. Our next meeting is Wednesday, March 18th at 11 o'clock, and we've decided the second one of the month will be in person, correct? So in person there. So other than that, I report progress. Next, we have Community Relations, Planning and Development Committee report. Councilwoman Brem.
Hello. We have not met since our last meeting. We are scheduled to meet Wednesday, March 18th at 4:45 in person or Zoom.
Thank you. You can see we have board and commission reports from the Community Garden Commission and also from the Historical Commission. Next, we have Personal Appeals Part 2. There's no one in the live. Bless you. There's no one in the live audience here. Does anyone online have a personal appeal? No. Okay, hearing none. Next, we have Borough Manager's report.
There are three items to discuss. On the EMS side, Sarah Hyman has resigned from the ambulance department effective March 9th. Mary Ellen Kaler, we have terminated her employment from the department, and Jordan Meyer has resigned from the department. We have been, again, going through the roster, looking who has been putting shifts in and purging that they haven't worked in 6, 7, 8, 9 months, because we don't need to carry the liability on a roster if they're not active employees. And so this was the most recent round of looking through the roster for the chief. Other than that, I will report progress unless you have questions.
I don't see here any questions. Next, we have president's business. I have no additional business. We do not need an executive session. Does anyone want to make a motion to adjourn? 8.
Motion.
Motion by Councilwoman Brown. Is there a second?
Sure, I'll say.
Second by Councilman Brown. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed say no. Passes 7-0. We are adjourned at 6:30.